When you wake up in the morning, before the world begins to demand your attention, before your phone starts buzzing, before the news fills your mind with problems, there is a small but powerful moment that belongs entirely to you. Most people waste that moment without realizing its value. They wake up thinking about bills, unfinished work, yesterday's mistakes, or tomorrow's worries. They begin the day already carrying the weight of stress, and then they wonder why every day feels like a struggle. The truth is, your day rarely becomes better than the thoughts that begin it. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant first in the morning has the greatest chance of growing throughout the day. If you plant doubt, you'll harvest hesitation. If you plant fear, you'll notice obstacles everywhere. But if you plant confidence, responsibility, and purpose, your actions will naturally begin to reflect those beliefs. Success does not begin with money in your bank account. It does not begin with a promotion, a business opportunity, or even a lucky break. Success begins in the private conversations you have with yourself when no one else is listening. Those silent conversations become your beliefs. Your beliefs become your decisions. Your decisions become your habits, and your habits eventually become your destiny. This is why the words you repeat every morning matter so much. They are not magic spells. They do not change your life overnight. Instead, they quietly shape the person you become, one decision at a time. Think about the people who consistently achieve great things. They don't wake up accidentally confident. They don't stumble into discipline by chance. Long before the world sees their success, they have already trained their minds to think differently. They have learned that the greatest battle is not against competitors, difficult circumstances, or bad luck. The greatest battle is against the voice inside that says, maybe tomorrow, you're not good enough, or this is too hard. Every successful person has faced that voice. The difference is they refuse to let it become the loudest voice in their lives. Your mind listens to what you repeatedly tell it. If every morning you remind yourself of your limitations, your brain begins searching for evidence that you're right. But if every morning you remind yourself of your strength, your ability to learn, and your commitment to grow, your brain starts looking for opportunities instead of excuses. The circumstances around you may not change immediately, but your response to those circumstances certainly will. And that response changes everything. Imagine starting each day with complete clarity instead of confusion. Imagine looking into the mirror and speaking words that remind you of who you are becoming instead of who you used to be. Those few moments may seem insignificant, but remember this. Great buildings are built one brick at a time, and great lives are built one thought at a time. Small actions repeated consistently always produce extraordinary results. You don't need to transform your entire life before breakfast. You only need to transform the direction of your thinking. Once your thinking changes, your choices begin to change. When your choices improve, your habits improve. When your habits improve, your future begins to look completely different. Many people are waiting for motivation to appear before they take action. But motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll feel inspired, and other mornings you won't. If your future depends on your feelings, your future will always be uncertain. Instead, build your mornings on commitment. Speak words that remind you of your values rather than your emotions. Feelings come and go, but principles remain. Every morning is a new opportunity to align yourself with those principles before the distractions of the world try to pull you away from them. The beautiful thing about morning affirmations is that they cost nothing, yet they can become one of the greatest investments you'll ever make. You don't need special talent, expensive equipment, or perfect circumstances. All you need is the willingness to intentionally guide your mind, instead of allowing your mind to guide you. Remember, every champion was once an ordinary person who decided to think differently before they began acting differently. And the first sentence you must say every morning is the foundation upon which every other success principle is built. Now that you've prepared your mind by choosing empowering thoughts at the beginning of your day, it's time to speak the first sentence that has the power to transform every area of your life. Asterisk, I take full responsibility for my life. At first, these words may seem simple, but they separate people who continually grow from those who remain trapped in the same circumstances year after year. Responsibility is not a burden. It is freedom. The moment you stop blaming everything outside yourself, you finally gain the power to change what is inside yourself. Too many people spend their lives searching for someone else to blame. They blame their parents for how they were raised. They blame the economy for their financial struggles. They blame their boss for their lack of opportunity. They blame their friends for their bad habits. They even blame luck for the results they never achieved. While there may be truth in some of these circumstances, blaming them never improves your future. Blame may explain where you are, but it never determines where you can go. Think about it this way. If someone else is responsible for your life, then someone else also controls your future. But if you are responsible, then you have the ability to improve it. That is why responsibility is one of the most empowering decisions a person can make. It doesn't mean you caused every problem. It means you choose to become the solution instead of remaining the victim. Every morning when you say, "I take full responsibility for my life," you remind yourself that your future is being built by today's decisions. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can absolutely influence tomorrow. Every successful person eventually reaches a moment where they stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I do about it?" That simple shift changes everything. Responsibility also changes the way you respond to failure. Instead of making excuses, you begin looking for lessons. Instead of protecting your ego, you begin improving your character. Failure no longer becomes proof that you're incapable. It becomes feedback that helps you grow stronger. The most successful people in the world have experienced disappointment, rejection, and setbacks. The difference is that they refuse to hand control of their lives over to those experiences. This sentence also reminds you that your habits belong to you. Your health is influenced by your daily choices. Your knowledge grows by what you read and learn. Your financial future is affected by how you earn, spend, and save. Your relationships improve when you become a better listener, a better communicator, and a better example. Little by little, you begin to understand that while you cannot control every event in life, you can always control your response to those events. There will always be people who discourage you. There will always be unexpected obstacles. There will always be circumstances that seem unfair. But successful people don't waste their energy complaining about what they cannot control. They invest their energy in improving what they can control. They understand that every hour spent making excuses is an hour stolen from making progress. When you repeat this sentence every morning, don't say it casually. Say it with conviction. Let it become part of your identity. Tell yourself, "Today I will not blame. I will not complain. I will not wait for someone else to rescue me. I will become the person who creates solutions." That mindset alone places you ahead of the majority of people because most people are waiting for life to change before they change themselves. Remember, success is never built on perfect circumstances. It is built on personal responsibility practiced consistently over time. The more responsibility you accept, the more confidence you develop. The more confidence you develop, the more action you take. And the more action you take, the closer you move toward the life you've always wanted. And once you've accepted complete responsibility for your life, the next step is to commit yourself to becoming a little better than you were yesterday. Once you have accepted responsibility for your life, the next promise you should make to yourself every single morning is this, asterisk, "Today I will become better than yesterday." Notice that this sentence does not say, "Today I will become perfect." It doesn't say, "Today I will become the best in the world." It simply says that you will be better than the person you were yesterday. That single idea removes the pressure of perfection and replaces it with the power of progress. Success has never demanded perfection. It has always rewarded consistent improvement. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that massive success requires massive change. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan, or the perfect moment to completely transform their lives. But life rarely changes that way. Great success is usually the result of small improvements repeated day after day, month after month, and year after year. A tiny improvement may not seem impressive today, but over time it creates extraordinary results. Just as a single drop of water seems insignificant until it fills an entire lake, your daily improvements eventually create a life that others admire. Ask yourself this question every morning. What is one thing I can do today that I couldn't do yesterday? Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's reading 10 more pages of a valuable book. Maybe it's exercising for 30 minutes instead of making another excuse. Maybe it's speaking more kindly, managing your time more wisely, or controlling your emotions during difficult situations. The improvement doesn't have to be dramatic. It simply has to be intentional. Too many people compare themselves with everyone else. They look at someone who has been working towards success for 20 years and become discouraged because they haven't reached the same level after only a few months. Comparison steals joy because it shifts your focus away from your own journey. The only comparison that truly matters is between who you were yesterday and who you are becoming today. If you're learning, growing, and improving, you're already moving in the right direction. Growth is often uncomfortable. Every new skill feels difficult before it becomes natural. Every worthwhile habit feels inconvenient before it becomes automatic. The first day you wake up early may feel exhausting. The first day you begin exercising may leave your muscles sore. The first time you speak in front of people may fill you with fear. But discomfort is often evidence that you're expanding beyond your old limitations. The people who embrace temporary discomfort usually enjoy long-term rewards. The people who avoid discomfort often experience long-term regret. This sentence also teaches patience. We live in a world that celebrates overnight success, but what we rarely see are the years of preparation behind every achievement. Trees do not grow to full height in a single season. They develop strong roots first. In the same way, your character must grow before your success can last. Every lesson you learn, every challenge you overcome, and every discipline you practice is strengthening the foundation for your future. Some days your improvement will be obvious. You'll complete important goals, solve difficult problems, and feel unstoppable. Other days your progress may be almost invisible. You may simply choose not to quit. You may resist an old habit. You may stay positive when circumstances tempt you to complain. Never underestimate those victories. Character is built in moments that no one else sees. Remember, successful people don't ask whether improvement is convenient. They ask whether improvement is necessary. They understand that every day offers a fresh opportunity to become wiser, stronger, more disciplined, and more valuable. If you commit yourself to becoming just 1% better every day, the person you become a year from now will be almost unrecognizable compared to the person you are today. So each morning, before the world tells you who you should be, remind yourself who you're choosing to become. Say it with confidence. Today I will become better than yesterday. That simple commitment will keep you moving forward, even when progress feels slow, because every step forward is still a step toward success. And as your daily improvement becomes a habit, you'll begin to discover that true opportunities are created not by luck, but by the discipline you practice every single day. As you continue building a stronger mindset every morning, the next sentence you must speak with conviction is this. Asterisk, I attract opportunities through discipline. Most people spend their lives searching for opportunities, believing that success comes to those who are lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time. They wait for someone to discover them, for the perfect job to appear, for the economy to improve, or for life to finally become easier. But successful people understand something different. Opportunities are rarely found by accident. More often, they are earned through consistent discipline. The world begins to trust people who first learn to trust themselves. Discipline is one of the least glamorous words in the dictionary, yet it is one of the most powerful. It is the bridge between your dreams and your achievements. Without discipline, goals remain wishes. Ideas remain unfinished. Potential remains hidden. You can have incredible talent, endless motivation, and big ambitions, but without discipline, none of those qualities will carry you very far. On the other hand, an ordinary person with extraordinary discipline can accomplish remarkable things over time. Think about the people you admire. Whether they are successful entrepreneurs, athletes, leaders, or artists, their achievements were not built on occasional bursts of inspiration. They were built on daily routines that most people were unwilling to follow. They kept working when no one was watching. They kept learning when others were relaxing. They stayed committed when excitement disappeared. That is what discipline looks like. It is choosing what matters most over what feels easiest. Every morning when you say, I attract opportunities through discipline, you remind yourself that today's habits are preparing you for tomorrow's possibilities. Imagine someone offering you the opportunity you've always dreamed about. Would you be ready? Would your skills match the opportunity? Would your character support the responsibility? Would your habits allow you to perform at that level? Many people miss great opportunities not because they are unlucky, but because they were unprepared when those opportunities arrived. Discipline quietly prepares you before success ever becomes visible. Reading every day may not seem exciting, but one day you'll possess knowledge that others don't have. Saving a small amount of money regularly may not seem impressive, but one day you'll have financial freedom while others remain trapped by poor decisions. Exercising consistently may not produce immediate results, but over time it builds energy, confidence, and resilience that affect every area of your life. Small acts of discipline accumulate into extraordinary advantages. One of the greatest rewards of discipline is confidence. Confidence doesn't come from repeating positive words alone. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you're going to do something and actually follow through, you strengthen your self-respect. Every completed task sends your mind a powerful message. I can trust myself. And when you trust yourself, other people begin to trust you as well. Employers notice it. Clients notice it. Friends notice it. Opportunities naturally begin to move toward people who have proven they can handle responsibility. Discipline also protects you from making emotional decisions. There will be mornings when you don't feel like working. There will be days when distractions seem more attractive than your goals. There will be moments when giving up feels easier than continuing. But discipline reminds you that success is built on commitments, not emotions. Feelings change from day to day, but disciplined people continue moving forward, regardless of how they feel. Remember, every successful life is built on thousands of ordinary decisions that nobody applauds. Waking up on time, finishing what you started, learning one more lesson, making one more phone call, practicing one more hour, saying no to temporary pleasure so you can say yes to long-term success. These decisions may seem small individually, but together they create a life of excellence. So every morning, before you begin your day, remind yourself that your future is not waiting for luck to arrive. It is waiting for your discipline to grow. Say with confidence, I attract opportunities through discipline, and then prove those words with your actions. Because when preparation meets opportunity, success is no longer a matter of chance. It becomes the natural result of the person you have chosen to become. And once discipline becomes your daily companion, you'll discover that the most powerful way to multiply your success is by developing a heart filled with genuine gratitude. After you've trained yourself to take responsibility, committed to improving every day, and built the discipline to prepare for opportunities, the next sentence you should speak every morning is this, asterisk, I am grateful for what I have and ready for more. At first, these words may seem simple, but they carry incredible power. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It is a way of seeing life. It changes how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to every situation. More importantly, it keeps you grounded while giving you the confidence to reach for something greater. Many people believe they will finally become grateful after they achieve success. They tell themselves, when I have more money, then I'll appreciate life. When I get the promotion, then I'll be happy. When everything goes my way, then I'll be thankful. But life doesn't usually work that way. Gratitude is not the reward of success. It is often one of the reasons success arrives. People who appreciate what they already have are better prepared to handle what they hope to receive. Think about someone who constantly complains. No matter how much they own, it never feels like enough. They focus on what is missing instead of what is present. They compare themselves with others until they forget how far they've already come. That mindset creates frustration instead of fulfillment. It steals energy that could have been used for growth. When your attention is fixed on everything you lack, you become blind to the opportunities already surrounding you. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you that even if life isn't perfect, there is still something valuable in today. Perhaps you have another chance to improve. Perhaps you have people who care about you. Perhaps you have knowledge, experience, or health that someone else wishes they had. When you begin noticing these blessings, your attitude changes. And when your attitude changes, the quality of your decisions changes as well. Being grateful does not mean becoming satisfied with mediocrity. Some people confuse gratitude with settling. They think that appreciating what they have means they should stop dreaming bigger. Nothing could be further from the truth. You can be thankful for where you are while remaining excited about where you're going. You can celebrate today's blessings while working diligently toward tomorrow's goals. Gratitude and ambition are not enemies. In fact, they make a powerful team. Gratitude gives you peace in the present, while ambition gives you purpose for the future. That is why this sentence ends with the words, and ready for more. You're not saying, this is enough and I never want to grow. You're saying, I appreciate everything life has already given me, and I will honor those blessings by becoming capable of receiving even greater opportunities. That mindset keeps your heart humble while keeping your vision alive. Every morning, take a few moments to think about what is already working in your life. Maybe it's your ability to learn. Maybe it's the roof over your head, the lessons you've gained through hardship, or the chance to wake up with another day ahead of you. These may seem like ordinary things, But ordinary blessings become extraordinary when you stop taking them for granted. A grateful person sees value where others only see routine. Gratitude also protects you during difficult seasons. There will be days when progress feels slow and challenges seem overwhelming. In those moments, gratitude reminds you that one setback does not erase all the good in your life. It helps you stay emotionally strong instead of becoming discouraged. A grateful mind finds hope even in difficult circumstances because it understands that every challenge carries a lesson, and every season eventually changes. People are naturally drawn to those who appreciate life. Gratitude makes you more positive, more generous, and more resilient. It strengthens relationships because people enjoy being around someone who values them instead of constantly complaining. It strengthens your work because you begin treating every opportunity as a privilege rather than an obligation. And it strengthens your character because it replaces entitlement with humility. So each morning, before you chase another goal or pursue another dream, pause for a moment and remind yourself of what you already possess. Say with sincerity, "I am grateful for what I have and ready for more." Let those words shape your attitude throughout the day. Because a grateful heart doesn't stop you from achieving success. It prepares you to recognize it, receive it, and use it wisely. And when gratitude becomes the foundation of your mindset, the final promise you make each morning will give you the strength to turn every goal into a finished achievement. You've now prepared your mind with purpose, accepted responsibility, committed to daily growth, built discipline, and developed a grateful heart. There is only one final promise left to make each morning, and it may be the one that determines whether your dreams remain dreams or become reality. That sentence is this: "I will finish what I start." These words sound simple, yet they carry the weight of every great accomplishment in history. The world is full of people who start with excitement, but very few continue with commitment. Success does not belong to the fastest starter. It belongs to the strongest finisher. Think about how many people begin the year with big goals. They buy new planners, make ambitious resolutions, and tell everyone about the life they're going to build. For a few days or even a few weeks, their enthusiasm is high. They wake up early, work hard, and believe nothing can stop them. But then life becomes difficult. The excitement fades, obstacles appear, progress slows down. Suddenly, what once felt inspiring begins to feel uncomfortable. That is the moment when most people quit, not because the dream was impossible, but because they confuse temporary emotion with lasting commitment. Every unfinished goal leaves something behind. It doesn't just leave an incomplete project, it leaves doubt. Your mind begins to wonder if you'll ever follow through. Each broken promise to yourself weakens your confidence a little more. On the other hand, every time you finish what you started, even if the result isn't perfect, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You prove that your word has value. You become someone who can be trusted, not only by other people, but by yourself. This is why you should say every morning, "I will finish what I start." You're making a decision before the challenges of the day arrive. You're telling yourself that your commitment is stronger than your comfort. You're reminding yourself that temporary obstacles are not permanent excuses. Finishing doesn't mean everything will be easy. It means you've already decided that difficulty will not be the reason you stop. Life will test this promise repeatedly. There will be projects that take longer than expected. There will be days when your energy is low and your motivation disappears. There will be moments when nobody notices your effort, when results seem invisible, and when giving up appears to be the easier option. Those are the moments that shape your character. Anyone can keep going when everything is working. It takes a different kind of person to continue when progress is slow and the finish line still seems far away. Remember, persistence often matters more than talent. Two people may begin with the same opportunity, but the one who refuses to quit almost always goes farther. History is filled with examples of ordinary people who achieved extraordinary things simply because they stayed with the process longer than everyone else. They weren't always the smartest. They weren't always the most gifted. But they developed the habit of finishing. Finishing also teaches patience. We often underestimate how long meaningful success takes to build. We expect immediate rewards for short-term effort. But the greatest achievements require seasons of consistent work that no one applauds. A tree doesn't bear fruit the day it's planted. A building isn't completed after laying the first brick. In the same way, your goals require time, persistence, and unwavering commitment. Don't mistake slow progress for failure. As long as you're moving forward, you're still on the path. Each morning, Remind yourself that your future is being shaped not by how many ideas you have, but by how many commitments you complete. Don't become someone who is known for brilliant beginnings and forgotten endings. Become the person who quietly finishes the work, keeps the promises, and continues long after others have stopped. That reputation will open doors that talent alone never could. Now imagine repeating these 5 sentences every morning. You begin your day by taking responsibility for your life. You commit to becoming better than yesterday. You choose discipline over excuses. You practice gratitude while remaining hungry for growth. And finally, you promise to finish what you start. These aren't just words. They are principles that shape your identity. And when your identity changes, your actions change. When your actions change consistently, your life inevitably changes with them. So tomorrow morning, before the world tells you what to think, remind yourself who you have chosen to become, and let those 5 simple sentences guide every decision you make throughout the day.